The assassin had had his day. Very true. He'd kidnapped Triss Marigold. It seemed like Foltest's life had not been enough. It seemed like the killer also wanted the monarch's former advisor. There was no time to think. It was time to act. Grabbing Geralt, I embarked on a voyage upriver, deeper into the Pontar Valley. There, in a region known as Lormark, King Henselt of Kaedwen had made camp with his army. King is the key word here, denoting the central figure in my plan to capture the Kingslayer.
Oh, your plan?
The special forces of King made the soil light lightly upon him. Foltest had lost some of their customary enthusiasm, treating us to not one single joke of the how many ways can you skin an elf variety. Which only goes to support my theory that the human mind is capable of producing a finite amount of horror before some manner of reflection springs itself upon it.
That's actually pretty deep. Dandelion. There's Sheila and Deathmold and Henselt.
It must have been a massacre! Bones everywhere! How in the world did Glevissig harness so much of the power?
Do you always get so excited at the sight of skulls, Deathmold?
Scoff all you want, I speak of magic! The kind of spells that win wars. Thousands incinerated in seconds! Power, destruction, annihilation!
Yes, after which Sabrina Glevissig was burned at the stake. And the Pontar Valley remains within Aedern's borders.
I'm just stopping because I want
Aedern
to
is
hear
a
all this.
carcass! Still showing life signs, but the realm's days are numbered. No peasant revolt can change that.
You're wrong, Deathmold. This country lives. I can feel it. Like an old wounded bear covered in scars, hounds all round it, but still strong. Still deadly. This will be a good war.
But sire, the Kaedwenian barons won't dare stand against you. You shall see that shortly. I've prepared everything. To Townsville, can you feel that? Magic still beats strongly in this place. Shivers run down my spine.
Strange. Glevassig's quadruple sun is a short duration spell. It should have dissipated long ago.
An anomaly, not uncommon. The sheer amount of power she summoned.
Long live the king!
I doubt she retained complete control.
Stop discussing Sabrina Glevissig, or I promise you that heads will roll.
Oh, by the way, I was muted. Sorry about that. Henselt, the guy we're playing right now, he has used the political instability in Aedern, where we are now, to come down from his kingdom, Kaedwen, which is to the north, with an army, and grab part of the Pontar Valley, which is called, I think, Upper Aedern, from Aedern after their king Damavand got slain by the Kingslayer in the intro to Witcher 2. So he's basically like making use of the political instability. He's here with an army, and now he's also here to parley specifically with some Kaedwenian nobles about how to do this, about if there's like gonna be a war, if they're just gonna give up Upper
Baron
Aedern.
Fellat has forever hinted that he would gladly change his colours.
Fellat is unparalleled scum.
The other nobles are panic-stricken at the very thought of Saskia and her peasant and non-human rebels. They are unprepared to fight and know it very well.
And Demavend's cub? Has he named his price?
Prince Stennis has yet to respond, but Fellat has assured me.
I must see him. Look into his eyes. I'll know what he's made of then.
And I just waited So as the cutscene that's coming doesn't interrupt our dialogue here. Because I want to hear it all. Dem negotiations. We're gonna save beforehand.
We most humbly greet His Majesty Henselt, King of Kaedwen, heir to the dynasty of the Unicorn, Lord of Ard Carreg, Archduke of Banard, and Vanquisher of Nilfgaard.
Welcome to Aedirn.
How much do you want?
Your Majesty surely jests.
I couldn't be more serious. How much for your signatures?
100,000 Novigrad crowns, we thought, to each of us, and the titles of Marquis.
Ooh.
We speak of Upper Aedirn, of coal and silver mines, numerous factories, the sole white marble quarry this side of the Yaruga, and the North's main east-west trade route.
We speak of Lawmark. I advise you to adopt the new nomenclature.
In exchange, we shall swear fealty and acknowledge your majesty as sovereign of these lands.
I mean, yeah, what's going on here is, again, Witcher 2 being way too real. Is not only that, like, Henselt is using the political instability after Demavend's death and just grabs a piece of their land. This land, which Aedirn calls Upper Aedirn, which in Kaedwen is called Lawmark, has actually been like a piece of contested land, like a piece of contention for these two kingdoms over generations. Like a bit like, if you know, like German or French history, like the Elsass or like the Saarland have been. And it's like changed rulers, changed countries a couple of times over the last centuries, and it is a very important piece of land because, as this guy said, it houses a lot of resources. It is like the upper Ponta Valley as well, so the Ponta is like a very big river, very important trade route goes through it. So Henselt has like used this time not just to grab any piece of land from an unstable kingdom, but to kind of reaffirm his claim, or his country's claim rather, to this piece of land. And he's brought an army, but you know, he's going to negotiate first and sees is trying to see how things go. Obviously, eventually he'll grab it no matter what. But I mean, he's trying to see if they make a reasonable offer. And it's up to us now to say, or to decide how aggressively these like negotiations are pursued, or how like seriously takes Henselt them, right? If we say like, I'll give you nothing, then all this is basically like just a ruse. He's just like going through the motions. He couldn't just attack Aedirn even in its state. That would look like very bad. He has to like do some negotiations, even if they're just a facade, and that would like represent that. If I say I'll give you half, that's still harsh, but it could be considered a serious offer. I don't know. What do I want to do here? I think I'm gonna play him as a bit of an asshole.
I shall give you naught for your worthless signatures. I have no need of them.
But your majesty, without our support, you'll forever be the invader, the occupying force, the enemy. The folk of Aedirn...
The folk of Aedirn follow Saskia the Dragon Slayer and Prince Stennis. I wish to speak to them. Sire, the Dragon Slayer approaches, white flag in hand. Excellent. Let her pass.
Just out of curiosity, what does Upper Aedirn sell for these days?
How much do you demand, lass?
King, command you to shut his beak before I thrust his cockerel up his arse and twist so hard he'll crow until noon reverts to morning.
Sire, you must have her restrained.
Shut up, Deathmold. I've rather taken a liking to this Saskia. Say your piece, woman.
King, withdraw your army, recognize Upper Aedirn's sovereignty and your persecution of non-humans, and give them leave to quit your realm. Do this and save yourself and your army.
You have balls, woman, but what would I gain? My soldiers would call me a coward. I am Henselt of Ard-Caraig. I'll not run from a woman, even if she be a dragon slayer.
I see one other solution. You and I, King, here and now, before these folk and the gods, I challenge you. As in the old days, when the Honourable ruled this world, Upper Eden to the victor!
The lass has gone mad. To challenge a king.
Sire, this is absurd. We shall crush them in battle. They say the lass has slain a dragon. She could be dangerous.
This is very interesting, because Saskia is not representing like the old Kaedwenian nobility here, who's just like out for Aden like vultures and will sell it to the highest bidder now that Damavent is dead. She actually represents a independent Upper Aden, an independent Ponta Valley as she calls it, independent from both Kaedwen, which Henselt is from, and Aden. And she wants to build like some kind of new state that's especially tolerant towards like non-humans. So there's like the opposition to Henselt here is like twofold. There's like the old nobles who wanted to remain part of Aden, and there's Saskia who wants to establish free Aden or the Ponta Valley. And now she's challenged me to a fight, and I think Henselt, being like a bit of a pompous ass, but still being like generally like honorable, I think I cannot deny this challenge.
Precisely why she makes a worthy foe. Don't disappoint me, Dragon Slayer. Please show me how it's done. Begin!
And I don't actually know if the game will just continue
Facing
no
one
matter
another in a
what.
chivalrous duel shall be Henselt of Ard-Caraig, King of Kaedwen, Sovereign of Caingorn and Malior, last of the line of the Unicorn, and Saskia,
Or
the wench who
If
killed
the result
dragon.
is set.
The victor shall take Lormark. May the gods settle this. Begin!
Draw your sword!
What? How did that not hit? Okay, and also I think it's pretty cool that we do not have like all the signs and stuff. We do not have like fancy dodges. We're not as agile as Geralt, which is like a very cool way of like showing us how agile and capable Geralt is. Because now we're just like taking control over like probably like a very able, but just a regular human sword fighter, right? Yeah, and as I just said, I don't know if... Oh, damn it. If the result is set here, so if I have to win against her, or if the story will just continue no matter what and take the result and deal with it. Because then, I mean, I would actually like Saskia to win, I guess. But I'm still gonna make it a good fight. Because I want to see what happens if she wins. Oh, I didn't just win now, did I? Okay.
Stop! Stop in the name of Krieg, Freyr and Melitele!
Yeah, obviously there's something happening with this statue if there's like blood or royal blood spilled on it. But I'm still gonna load because I want her to like legit win, I think. And yeah, we can go through all this pretty quickly. It's just dialogue. And we've seen it already. I'll give you nothing. And Saskia appears.
Just out.
Silence death mold.
You, as in upper.
I'll fight.
Precisely why she don't.
Okay. Oh, now we gotta hear to that speech of the announcer
Facing
again.
one another in a chivalrous
Who's, like,
duel
very
shall
biased.
be Henselt of Ard-Caraig, King of Kaedwen, Sovereign of Caingorn and Malior, last of the line of the Unicorn, and Saskia,
The
wench
wench.
who killed a dragon. The victor shall take Lormark. May the gods settle this.
Also, he calls it Lormark, which is very biased. But where's her shield? Is that just bugging now? Alright. Ow! Now it went the wrong way again. I just wanted to hit her shield. I still want to make this a good fight. I don't want to just stand there and lose. I'll give you nothing. Shut the fuck up, Death Mold. I have other plans.
Facing one another in a chivalrous duel shall be Henselt and Saskia, King of Kaedwen, Sovereign of Caingorn and Malior, last of the line of the Unicorn, and Saskia, the wench who killed a dragon.
It's a pretty fancy
The
medallion.
victor shall take Lormark. May the gods settle this. Begin!
Draw your sword!
I'm gonna wait till... Yep, till this is done. It's amazing how slow you are, really. Why is she not doing any damage now? She was doing so much earlier. Oh!
Turn your gullet into a clarinet!
That was a shield bash, I guess. Oh! Sometimes my strikes are doing so much damage, it's not even funny. Sorry if this is boring. But I'm having fun making this like a cinematically cool fight. Oh, now I said I'll give you half.
You'll provide guides and
No,
supplies to my army.
I won't give him anything. Shut the fuck up, Henselt. So I misclicked. Maybe I can save before the duel, but probably not.
I shall...
Like, can I?
Facing one another in a chivalrous duel shall be Henselt and Saskia, King of Kaedwen, Sovereign of Caingorn and Malior, last of the line of the Unicorn, and Saskia, the wench who killed a dragon. The victor shall take Lormark. May the gods settle this. Begin!
Draw your sword!
Alright, come here. Nope. The stagger after she's blocked is so intense.
Facing one another in a chivalrous duel shall be Henselt and Saskia, King of Kaedwen, sovereign of Caedwenian and Malior, last of the line of the unicorn. And Saskia, the wench who killed the dragon. The victor shall take Lormark. May the gods settle this. Begin!
Draw your sword!
I guess this is like heavily rigged by the game, so that like it's almost impossible to lose this, right? I mean, look at like our life regeneration as well, and she just like straight up hits us, and it's just so little, even though we're like not wearing any armor. That's pretty stupid. Look at our regeneration. Okay, and then the stagger opens her up so wide. I don't know. I still want to lose. I want to see what the game does with it. So hit us in the back. That does a lot of damage. It's like, for all intents and purposes, like considering like how slow Henselt is and everything, and how old she should like wipe the floor with us. She has like a fucking plate armor on and like a shield on top of that, and we don't have anything. Okay. Oh no! Okay. Oh, it still has the same result? That's pretty stupid. Yeah, well.
Stop! Stop in the name of Kriv, Freyr and Militale!
And the curse is reactivated. How lovely.
Hey, halt!
What's with you, Zivik? Booze made you batty. Don't you recognize me?
I'll be ploughed and damned. Why the hell did you bring him here, Roche?
He's a witcher.
I know who the whoreson is. Ploughing Kingslayer at the gate of a king's camp. Why, he's not even bound.
Easy, lads. The witcher's no murderer, I'll vouch for that. As for kings, well, I desperately need to see yours.
You're in for a wait then, Mr. Special Mission Knight. Don't move, mutant! One of you go get the sergeant, and while you're at it, fetch a solid piece of rope to bind the freak.
Come on, Zivik, no need for that. Where'd you say the king was?
Out in the field somewhere, negotiating. Hey, Kingslayer, drop your weapons, or do I need to pack a bolt up your ass? Don't move! Don't even twitch, mutant! Hands where I can see him! Shoot! Smash the freak!
What the fuck?
So the soldiers become great. The Witcher just carried off because he suspected something like this since the curse was reactivated. And he thought it might have something to do.
It's Sabrina's curse.
Kaedwenians are here as well.
With the Kingslayer he feared, and thus too dangerous for Henselt. Which would mean the third death of a monarch of one of the northern kingdoms, which he couldn't have let happen, of course. But of course I died here, so...
These spectres were my soldiers!
Load right here.
It's Sabrina's curse!
Kaedwenians are here as well.
Oh, I could actually start throwing bombs again, I guess. We still have a couple, right? Oh, I think I'm out of grape shots now. No, fair enough. Oh, why did my bomb not hit? And I think this is like a very long segment in which we can't save, so prepare for a lot of save scumming.
These spectres were my soldiers! It's Sabrina's curse!
Kaedwenians are here as well.
Admire the sights later. We have to go on.
Your friends, I must focus enough power for the spell.
Fortunately, it doesn't stun them entirely. It would be pretty neat. Wow. I need to watch out more for my life. I'm playing pretty stupidly here. I need to play
These
more
spectres
with
were my soldiers!
Gwen as well.
It's Sabrina's curse!
What am I getting hit with right at the beginning here?
Admire the sights later. We have to go on.
So annoying.
Your friends, focus enough power
That was
for
fairly
the spell.
effective. And Gwen. Okay, they spawn so fast here. And in addition to my own life, I gotta watch out for Henselt and everyone to not die. Why did that not do any damage? Why did I lie there again? That was completely unnecessary.
These spectres were
Try
my soldiers!
not get hit in the beginning.
It's
Because
Sabrina's
that already
curse.
like
Kaedwenians
takes
are here
quite
as
the
well.
chunk of life off.
Admire the sights later. We have to go on.
Thankfully there's no friendly fire.
For the spell.
Am I still under threat? Yeah. Well, not anymore. Okay. That was fairly effective. Now Gwen again. This one just spawned. Let's crash him. Alright. And that's something bad spawning there. A Draugr. Draugr, actually. I cannot... I guess they can't be charmed with XP, right? Or maybe they can. Was that something else? Anywho. Obviously I want to collect all the loot before we move on as well. And I think I need to do that. Oh, I can't even. For the fight server, unfortunately. So how do they respond to bombs? Oh, rather well. Because I don't want anyone else to get the last hit here. Oh, but also I want to definitely collect what they dropped. Oh, damn it. I hope I still can. Otherwise I might just load this again. I think the Draugirs have some special alchemical ingredients as well. Anyways, I didn't get the last hit on the other one, so I might do that anyways.
Ready!
Yeah.
Stay close to me!
I want them XP. I want them XP.
These spectrals were my soldiers. It's Sabrina's corpse.
I don't necessarily need to kill like every one of those Kaedwenian Knight Spectres, but the Draugirs I want to get, definitely. Got this one as well. Oh, it's time for a bomb, I reckon. Oh! Damn it, someone just spawned behind me. Also, I think I'm going to keep the couple of grape shot bombs I still have.
It's Sabrina's
just use Satan.
Kaedwenians are here as well.
Admire the sights, but we have to go on.
Okay, for some reason my turn is gone. Geralt's so agile as compared to Henselt and also Roche earlier. Yeah, I don't think there's much we can do just with our sword here, right? So let's try... What's a great shot do? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Decent amount of damage. What's the other one? Roche isn't killing it all by himself, is he? Okay, this one's mine. The other one, alright, it's barely even damaged. Okay, let's wait for our stamina to regen a little bit here. Then do a quench. And then... Oh, I don't have any grape shots anymore though. That's better. I mean, unfortunately we can't save even after this, so there's a long way to go, believe me. I'm spamming the quick save right now, but I don't think it'll help anything. Oh, game saved. Nice.
Stay close to me!
What the hell? Where did the sun go? It's an eclipse. Very
Oh, also, I didn't get to the corpses.
I'll try to disperse them.
Oh, damn it! That's so annoying. And I just die if I leave this. Well, thankfully, at least I got a save. But I don't... Do I even want this? I can't get, like, to the loot of the Draugr corpses. That's
ready!
So stupid.
Stay close to me!
What the hell? Where did the sun go?
I can't right now anyways, because it's a fight, right?
Spectral are only susceptible to silver and spells. Stay
Try to disperse them.
Okay. Oh, well, that didn't go so well. Also need a Quen. Need to use Quen more. I want this sweet, sweet Draugr loot.
Ready! Stay close to me!
What the hell? Where did the sun go?
Quen.
It's an eclipse. Somebody cast it close. Very powerful. Spectral, only susceptible to sensitive spells.
Try to disperse them.
Okay, I need to get back inside here. What? Where'd you go? Oh, now I need to finish off these raids. They're attacking Philippa, and we can't have that. What are they? Are they bugged? I'm pretty sure they're bugged right here. That's not the way it's supposed to be. Damn it. Hopefully we can still kill him. Also, we are using the silver sword, yes. But somehow they just, like, phase out. I mean, maybe that's intended. I don't know.
It's Clever-Six curse! She's out to kill me!
Stay close to me, son. It's not far. Let's hope so.
Oh, shite. I need to be more careful. All the way back to the top. Yeah, I remember this was quite the
Ready!
annoying
Stay close
sequence.
to me!
What the hell? Where did the sun go?
It's an eclipse.
I need to get out of here.
I'll try to disperse them.
That was way too bad.
Ready! Stay close to me!
What the hell? Where did the sun go?
It's an eclipse. Somebody cast a curse. We do. We have to get out. Spectral are only susceptible to silver and spells. Stay behind me.
I'll try to disperse the thought.
Man, I want to get the last hits, please.
It's Clever-Six curse! She's out to kill me!
Stay close to me, son. It's not far now. Let's hope so.
think there's gonna be another Gaulier fight as well during this sequence.
The fog is dissipating. We're
Damn it,
nearly
stealing my kills. Like, can I get into a situation where I'm able to... I don't really think. Okay. I gotta be more careful, I'm almost through. And also there hasn't been a save in ages. Nope, I'm not gonna do this. There's one right there. Oh no! Seriously.
ready! Stay close to me!
What the hell? Where did the sun go?
So much I love about Witcher 2. But what I absolutely despise is when it's a game at that.
Try to disperse.
Forces you into a situation where you just can't save for like 15 minutes of very intense gameplay. It's just a absolutely a bullshit way of increasing difficulty. Or increasing frustration, more like. I guess the phasing in and out of the lanes is some purpose. Oh! I can actually loot something here, I can't believe it.
It's Nemesis curse!
Again.
She's out to kill me!
Stay close to me, son.
Because Essence of Death is pretty useful. It's kind of cool that I could get it when... I don't get you.
It's Prince Dennis. He lives.
I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. What did I die from there? Seriously, I had the Quen active. I don't even know how I died. That was nonsensical.
Ready! Stay close to me!
It's my clips. Somebody has to close.
So I guess I still worry too much about optimizing and getting like a couple of last hits and XP out of this, but I don't know. guess I do take damage if I'm like just over time if I'm outside of the field. That's probably what killed me last time.
It's Glevesig's curse! She's out to kill me!
Stay close to me, sire. It's not far now.
Let's hope so.
It's Prince Dennis. He lives.
The wraiths have taken him.
Okay, now I just gotta stay inside. Get inside.
The fog is dissipating. We're near its end.
I would very much like to meet the essence of death, please. No! Just what a click can do sometimes. Moving you towards an enemy, even though he's out of the safe zone. Fine. Made it to the camp.
Deathmold, Sheeler, meet me in my tent. You're to explain what the hell happened there, and how we're to get rid of it.
As you command, Your Majesty.
I'll tolerate no delays on this matter, and summon all my company commanders.
Immediately, Your Majesty.
Corporal, I'd like you to watch the Witcher closely. He just pulled me from a magic hell, so I doubt he wants my head as he took fall tests. But I'll not have him wandering round the camp like some stray dog. Occupy him for a time, then bring him to my tent.
Sire, I must request an audience.
Later. I'll see my mages first, then the Witcher.
Ah, just lovely. And here I'd hoped for a calm little war.
Know where I might wet my throat around here?
Roche, willing to vouch for this overgrown urchin?
He did not kill Foltest or Demavend, if that's what you're asking. You've got my assurance on that.
Good enough for me. Let's go then. Yes?
No, I don't want to see the king yet. I obviously want to check out the camp first. And this
Let's
is,
go!
I guess, the way outside. Sure, lead me around the camp.
Our armourer. Busy as ever with military commissions, but he'll take a private commission from time to time. Ah, we're here at last. The canteen, the most important place in the camp. If you ever get bored, you should find a monster contract or two on the notice board.
Look at them later.
Take care.
Scared of going against the same.
This place
the
is a
enemy have fed
shithole.
you their propaganda. Ah! But what if she's truly an anointed bear?
Ah, don't worry about it. The Witcher will take care of everything. Here's where the king organizes tournaments. All glamour, ceremony, noses and cocks in the air. Between those, we kill time thrashing about with swords, pikes, chairs, the works. Good stuff, no holds barred. They pay well too if you know who to talk to and who to bet on. Excuse me a moment, Witcher. How did the fight go?
You've a nose for this, Zivik. You won again.
My gold?
You gonna bet on more fights today?
Of course. I'll come by later.
Oh, there's an elf.
See him, Witcher. Loosen his bonds a bit and he's liable to jump at your throat like a rabid mutt.
One of your Skoyatel. How did you capture him?
Scouts found him wounded in the ravines. Someone massacred a small unit. The boy said it was a bloodbath, as if the Reaper just swung his scythe right through them. Whoever attacked them was very strong.
Any idea who it might have been?
No. But if they managed to ambush elves in the wild, I'd rather not meet them.
Right, Zivik. Let's go see the king.
Should have spoken to his wizards by now, shouldn't he? Sorcerers.
How's it going, lads?
Death mold and
I
Sheila.
can't feel me ploughing feet from all this standing around. Any chance you'll be sending up some replacements?
In an hour. Open up the gate. The king wants to see the Witcher.
Yeah.
Go straight to the royal tent. You can't miss it. I've a few things to take care of.
Godspeed, Zivik.
I'll be near the main gate if you need me. So long.
Ha! A Witcher!
The king must have summoned him to fight the raids.
So Kaedwen is like...
I'm certain.
What are they saying?
Let's see him deal with the blood curse.
10 silver on the curse.
I wanted that bet. Hello.
Kaedwen seems to have a bit of a... bit of a flavor of Russia, right? I mean, all those like bear pelts and the hats, like typically like stereotypical rather. Indicators. And also it's to the north somewhat, and still like not Viking-like, but like, I don't know. Who are you? I will talk to you later. We've got summoned by the king, so let's go. So this is where the important people live, I guess. Deathmold's here. Should we talk to him before? Does he have anything to say?
Did they hire a witcher?
Henselt awaits you. We shall speak later.
Sure. Sheila?
Nearly everyone hunts you, yet you live in spite of that.
He's here.
In no small part thanks to you, Excellency.
I've helped you, yes. I trust I shan't regret it.
As do I. I wouldn't want to seem ungrateful.
Are you seeking employment? I was unaware you fellows hired yourselves out for battle.
My aim here is different.
Really? Perhaps I can be of assistance.
This Slimebag. He appears everywhere where there is kings, it seems. Just making the grand tour for the Nilfgaardian Empire to see every monarch of the northern kingdoms. Foltest, now Henselt. I'm sure it's entirely innocent. Shame about Foltest.
Foltest was a good king. Shame he ended that way.
I've already conveyed the Emperor's condolences to Constable Natalis. Since we're talking about Temeria and Foltest, apparently the fallen king's advisor, the sorceress Triss Merigold, has disappeared in mysterious circumstances. Rumors abound. Do you know anything about her?
Why do you ask, Excellency?
I heard the two of you are close.
You don't need to say it like it's something improper or whatever. Yes, we're together.
Mages have a natural tendency to disappear into thin air once in a while. Why is anyone concerned?
Maybe they wonder if witches locked in dungeons possess the same capacity. You're avoiding the subject, which means it's uncomfortable for you.
No.
Have it your way, I shan't press. But I'll ask one more question, if I may.
Of course, Your Excellency.
I mentioned Triss because, I must admit, I am perturbed. Mages are known for their mutual envy and rivalry. I wonder if there's any matter that could unite them.
Perhaps you could be a bit clearer, Excellency.
Like an Nilfgaardian
Then I shall ask
invasion?
directly. Do you know anything about Merigold's involvement with an organization of sorceresses? Assuming, of course, that you are, theoretically, or have been, close.
I love it how he's like pushing our buttons here. Saying, oh, you don't want to speak about it, so it's uncomfortable to you. Or have you been close, or whatever. Obviously, like, getting us to divulge some information, but his logic, of course, doesn't make sense, because, like, why would we speak about some information about, like, one of our closest friends and partners? To him, of all people.
I'm a witcher. I rarely theorize. Killing monsters is purely practical.
I don't doubt it. Though sometimes a single understatement can speak more than 1,000 words. So, I thank you for your silence, Witcher. Do you have other questions?
Why are you so interested in this organization of sorceresses?
I wonder about some strange coincidences. I'm told several of them were seen in the vicinity when the assassination attempts occurred.
Oh, that's his
What's so
angle.
suspicious about that? Mages have always thronged around monarchs, the source of power and coin.
I'm not accusing anyone.
Sure.
I merely said it makes me wonder.
So that's his next move of like sowing dissent, is accusing the Lord of Sorceresses for the assassinations, eh?
What's the Emperor's envoy doing here? Satisfy my curiosity.
The last unfortunate conflict left the northern kingdoms in pitiful economic condition. His Imperial Majesty desires stability, We wish to offer financial assistance, so I'm visiting those lands hardest
That's
hit
it.
by the war.
Henselt is coping admirably as far as I can see.
The details of my visit here are reserved for the Emperor and the Kaedwenian King.
He seems to be like very smart, so I don't think my sign will work on him, but we might try.
You sure they're that big a secret? I mean, they could be important to me.
Oh.
I can reveal one thing. The Emperor was very moved to hear the White Wolf had returned. He asked me to investigate the matter personally and submit a report.
Why do I interest him?
He didn't say. His Imperial Majesty keeps his motivations to himself.
Where to next? Redania?
I saw you with Foltest before. Now you're with Henselt. No doubt you'll visit the King of Redania next.
I need not go far. Radovid is en route to Lochmuin. Perhaps he has already arrived. We'll meet there.
Lochmuin? An ancient elven city quite a ways away, near the source of the Pontar. Why there?
The mages wish to re-establish their council. They sent out invitations to all the kings.
Greetings, Geralt.
So you decided to stay in the Pontar Valley. I've got this tattoo I want to get rid of. Alright, so we can apparently also do this with her, not only with Triss.
I'd assumed that after killing the Kayran, the Pontar Valley would hold no further interest for you.
You know nothing about me, Witcher. I'm here because 2 northern monarchs were murdered. It's quite probable Henselt is next on the list. We don't need another country descending into chaos. King Henselt cannot die. I'll make sure of that.
It's pretty obvious you and Deathmold don't exactly get along.
Deathmold is an overgrown baby. A fine match for King Henselt.
Lol.
The problem is that he's as jealous as he is childish. He claims I wish to steal his position at the Kaedweni court. Nothing could be more absurd.
Foltest's killer forced Triss to teleport him to Vergen. They're somewhere nearby.
That nosy little meddler Triss used my megascope to accomplish that. But I suppose I should be grateful. After all, I might have been the Kingslayer's victim. Even if Triss is in Vergen, I cannot locate her. This damn fog prevents any kind of magical probing.
Know how to remove a tattoo?
No problem. I'd need some green mold, white myrtle petals, and wolf's aloe.
I'll be back once I've found the ingredients.
See ya. It's not an extraordinarily, grand tent for a king. He also has a rake in his cupboard for whatever reason. Guess in his spare time he likes raking leaves in front of his tent or whatever. Of course I'm gonna steal from him.
Come in, Witcher. I wish you to feel at ease, as this is an unofficial audience. You helped me in the mist, thus I surmise you do not seek my death. Which leads me to ask what you do seek here, Geralt of Rivia.
Peace and quiet to clear my name. Or justice. I mean, the first one seems more witchery. The way I've been playing this playthrough is a bit more the second one, I guess.
Justice.
A slippery thing, I'd say. It really depends on your point of view. So, you claim you did not kill Foltest. Do you know who did?
We do, but do we want to tell him? Sure, why not?
A witcher named Letho.
Do you know each other?
I don't know. I have amnesia. Letho has suggested he knows something about me. It's possible we met before.
There's an old Kaedweni saying, a bitch will never bite another bitch. 100% accurate where sorceresses are concerned.
To the matter at hand, sire.
De Tarnasaville claims this Letho is in the area. Is that true?
Yes.
What does he want here? My head?
He's hiding from Yorvith and his Scoia'tael. I don't know his plans.
And you aim to get him?
I do.
Last question. Do you know who had Foltest and Demavend assassinated? Who's behind the Kingslayers?
I don't know, but I'll find out when I find Letho.
My spies have confirmed your words. I suppose I must believe you. Now to the other matter. The mist, the wraiths, all that magic shit holding up my campaign. My mages, as usual, have proved useless. They blather on about higher magic, delayed curses and other hogwash, but nothing comes of it. This matter must be settled with a sword. A witcher's sword. Will you manage this task?
Yeah, I'll manage.
Excellent. Lift the curse, and you'll learn the meaning of royal generosity. And even should you fail to catch this Letho, I shall help you clear your name. Consider Deathmold at your disposal. He'll give you all the necessary information. Also, you are free to move about the camp and its environs from now on.
All right.
Now, leave me alone.
As we forged our way through the fog, you claimed it was Glevisig's curse.
Sabrina Glevisig's. She was a sorceress, my former advisor. I ordered her bound to a wagon wheel and burned alive. While dying, she cursed me and my lineage. That was 3 years ago.
The curse was cast 3 years ago. Any sign it's been active in the interim?
Is that important?
Sire, we're not talking about a fortune told in a tent on market day, nor about some curse cast by a novice mage. This curse caused a solar eclipse and summoned hordes of specters. We're dealing with a complex spell that operates at several levels. Uncommon knowledge and skill were required to cast it. Lifting it will be even more difficult. If I'm going to deal with it, I need you to cooperate.
Ah, the plague. So be it.
What did you condemn Sabrina for, sire?
1 year after the Peace of Sintra, I fought Demerven for Lormark. General Vandegrift commanded a part of my force. He forded the Pontar and joined battle on this field. It raged until evening, when Sabrina Glevisig decided to take matters into her own hands. Fireballs rained down onto the battlefield. 3,000 men turned to bloody charred meat scraps. The fire consumed Kaedwenis and Adernians alike. Knights boiled alive in their armor. Mad beasts howling with pain. War is for the honorable. When the likes of Glevisig enter the fray, it turns into hell.
So on what side did Glevisig fight on, though? I don't remember what her position on any of the courts was. Was she with Henselt? I mean, I guess that's all with his enemy Demavend at the time, who was defending from Henselt's advance. Also, speaking about The Witcher with a couple of friends, some of them asked if, this big battle in Chapter 2 of The Witcher 2 that Henselt is referring, and that's still raging, in its ghost or curse form right now, if that's the Battle of Brenna that, Shani was also referencing in 1 and stuff like that. And apparently it isn't. It's not in any way related to any battles with Nilfgaard. It's just an earlier version of what Henselt's trying to do now. Is taking the contested area of Upper Aden, or Lormark as he calls it, by force. And the last time he's tried this is 3 years ago, when Demavend was still alive, and now that the king's been assassinated, he sees this as his renewed chance. And I think the only thing that makes sense here is that Sabrina Glevisig was with Henselt, because that's the reason he had the power to imprison her later on and then execute her. Or maybe she was with the other side and he just took her as a prisoner of war. I mean, anyways, he was unhappy with her, even if she was with him, for employing this weapon of mass destruction and just killing everything and everyone, right? Because he saw it as dishonorable. And then he executed her, I guess. Why did Sabrina attack her own side? What activated the curse?
What drove Sabrina to attack her own army? Any specific reason?
I've heard none, not even speculation. She was my advisor, a member of the Council of Mages. For years I was forced to tolerate her excesses, schemes, court scandals.
Was she loyal?
Ha! Only to herself.
Right, so that makes sense. So she was his advisor and came along for the invasion 3 years ago. Then Shaw thought like maybe she was doing him a favor, or maybe she was doing it for selfish reasons. But I can't really see a reason why a sorceress would just like kill 3,000 soldiers and like risk the ire of a king. What could she have won from this? I guess it was just that she like legitimately thought, well, some Kaedwenian soldiers are gonna die, but we're gonna end the battle and win it for you. And he didn't like that.
Sire, do you remember the curse itself? What exactly did Sabrina say?
All she said at the time has been fulfilled to some degree. A star adorned with a bloody braid will cut across the heavens. Square coins from maritime depths will beguile the hearts of fools.
Coins?
Deathmold found a few such coins among soldiers accused of treason.
Okay. And I guess this is all we can ask for this. Like, as regards this topic. Just one more thing.
Greetings, Witcher.
A wonderful army, sire.
The sight of your camp must instill fear in your enemies' hearts. I'm certain the stench does.
Normal military conditions, Witcher. Boiling cabbage, stale sweat, and the smell of fear. They're constant companions in the expansion of any great empire.
Thanks for the history lesson. I take it you'll wait until the last minute to bring the remaining troops across.
Nothing sinks defenders' hearts more than steady increases in their enemies' ranks. So I'll say these Vergen sons of bitches are worthy foes and won't flee so easily. It's good having a neighbor who knows how to fight.
I'm not sure the people of Edirn share that sentiment.
Oh, you're so gleefully cynical. Geralt. Another 1,000 experience. We am leveling up fast here. Right.
Witcher, a word, if you will.
Certainly. Conspiracy theory. Does Sheila have anything new to say? Why can we ask her about the Wild Hunt all of a sudden? I don't know, I'll speak to Deathmold first. Where is he in this second tent, right?
Freak.
Shut the fuck up. So Sheila and Deathmold don't like each other very much. Sheila says she's here because she fears that she's not like in league with Henselt or anything. She's actually with the King of Kovia, which is even further to the north. It's one of the northern kingdoms, but it's a smaller one. And first we thought she was just in Flotsam earlier to kill the Karen for like ingredients. Now she's here for some reason, and the reason she says is that 2 of the northern kings have died, namely Demavend of Edirn and Foltest, of course, and she wants to make sure Henselt doesn't die also. Which is kind of a weird motivation, seeing that she's like aligned with Kovia. I mean, maybe she has the North's interest in general at heart, but that doesn't seem very honest of her. Deathmold here, obviously, it's Henselt's official advisor. And the two, like many mages, don't get along very well.
You have no idea how delighted I am to work in tandem with you.
True, I have no idea.
Better times approach, Geralt, you shall see. I trust you're not bothered if I refer to you by name.
Not at all.
Wonderful, I feel we shall become great friends.
Sure.
That remains to be seen.
Shake my hand, Geralt, to mark the beginning of our friendship. Don't worry, I've no poison needle up my sleeve.
I mean, sure. I don't think we're gonna be friends, but... whatever.
I believe one can learn much about a man from his handshake.
Learned anything?
You have the handshake of a warrior. Strong, decisive, dominating. You're the conquering type. The kind women love.
I was asking about the curse.
Oh, of course. What would you like to know?
Did you notice that not all the specters were aggressive?
Most would disappear when we neared them.
I think the curse's power corrupts the ghosts of those who died in the battle, turning them into draugrs.
Draugrs, is that some professional name you witches have for spectres?
They're demons, Deathmold. Draugrs are demons of war that arise on battlefields where the fighting was vicious and the slaughter particularly bloody. They are hatred and bloodlust in condensed form.
The name matters little. Do you know how to rid us of these Draugrs?
A silver sword's enough to send them to their rest. But as long as the curse remains active, new ones will appear. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If we could reverse the tide of the battle...
Don't delay. Grab your sword and start reversing.
I'll need some symbols of war that belonged to the soldiers who perished here. Artifacts symbolizing hatred, death, courage, and faith. They have to be magically active and linked to those who died. Without them, I won't be able to summon the ghosts.
Well, I've no idea how to find them, apart from which I know little about war symbolism.
I'll deal with the artifacts. I have another job for you. Have you dealt with curses before?
I've cast a few in my time. One victim sprouted donkey's ears in a tail, another's house burned down. Nothing too serious.
Shame. Have you removed curses, lifted spells?
Never had the chance. But I mastered the theory involved. Best in my class at the Magic Academy.
They don't teach you about curses like this one at Banord.
Glevis's curse is a 4th level blood spell. It's also known as the Archmistress's curse. A misnomer, for they've been cast by generally crazed mages or priests, not necessarily women.
You've done your homework. Explain this blood curse to me.
An ordinary blood curse is a trivial thing. You let a little of your own blood. Best done at midnight, surrounded by lit candles.
Sabrina had a whole pyre around her. Tell me about Glevisig's curse.
Read about it for yourself. I have all the necessary literature. In fact, you only need the Great Encyclopedia of Curses, Spells and Prophecies, and a volume compiled by Tessard de Vries and Marguerite Lointil, Masters of Magic on Curses Selected Writings.
Quite a tome. Are you sure Sabrina cast the curse?
Positively. Curses of this kind are cast rarely. There have only been 6 confirmed cases.
How many confirmed cases of their being lifted?
1. By a team of mages led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, whence came the curse's other appellation. In any case, Sabrina Glevisig was part of that team.
Small world, and one that just got a little uglier.
That's not all. The curse that Francesca and Sabrina dealt with was meant to end the lives of the last of the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. It was cast by Scarlet Rodalega, a very talented but completely mad man. A prophecy and an activator were also involved.
I see. Sabrina just stole her curse from this Rodalega.
Precisely. Beside which the king himself and a company of armed men witnessed her casting it.
Interesting. References to Kovir again. So this curse that Sabrina stole from another mage was originally cast by someone who wanted to get rid of the king of Kovir. Either the very same one or a predecessor of the one that Sheila works for now. Is there any connection there? Because I mean it could be like coincidence, but I've noticed like playing through The Witcher 1 again as well, that there's like some pretty insanely big reveals and some pretty important information that the game like doesn't just give you. You have to find out and piece like all the evidence together yourself and make like some insanely like weird connections at first glance, but if you do, a lot of stuff makes a lot more sense. And I think it's so cool. I've never seen like any other dev do it to this extent, where they just keep some information for you if you don't like look hard enough for it, or if you're like not smart enough to make the connections. And the game makes sense still, but I don't know. Specifically, and I don't want to spoil you about Witcher 1. So maybe like close mute your stream or whatever for 10 seconds or something if you don't want to get spoiled for Witcher 1. But specifically in Witcher 1, did you guys know that Alvin is Grandmaster Jacques de Aldersberg? And this might seem completely ludicrous, but if you actually connect all the dots, it makes a whole lot of sense. And I mean that turns like so much of Witcher 1 on its head a little bit. It's so amazing to me, and if you just don't know it, then you just don't know it. And in Witcher 2 you're maybe like, oh, where did Alvin go? That's weird. That's kind of like bad writing that they would just cross him out like that. No, it wasn't bad writing. It was like excellent writing, because he had a purpose all along. And the last time that Alvin vanished was actually him teleporting back through time for around, I don't know, say 50 years, and then eventually becoming Jacques de Aldersberg. I mean, I'm not going to explain the whole theory now, but it's out there, and it definitely makes a lot of sense if you play the game. And similarly in Witcher 2, there's some information, like for example, about Saskia, or about like Geralt himself, and about the Wild Hunt. That's pretty important, and you just don't get to see it if you're like, don't dig deep enough, or if you're not smart enough to connect the dots. And that's really cool to me. That's like a very courageous thing to do in storytelling, and they pull it off a lot, and very well, I think. So back to the matter at hand. Sabrina Glavesig stole this curse from someone who wanted to assassinate either Sheila's employer or her former, or a predecessor of his. I don't think there's anything important there, but we might keep that in mind. I don't know.
We've got our comet and murder. What about the coins?
We have those as well. Not enough for you?
No. Why do I get the feeling I've stumbled on some shameful secret?
A state secret.
If you don't tell me, your head of state may soon lose his head.
There's a plot afoot within the military. Those involved share a symbol, a square coin adorned with a fish. Let's do this. I shall in no way hinder your investigation, and you will reveal to me anything you learn. Should I happen upon anything related to the curse?
You'll let me know. So be it.
Right, so there's also what I wanted, and I'm sorry if I've like if you find this boring, but I'm guessing you stay around, so probably you don't. Earlier when we were talking to Henselt, I mean, there was a way of being like more confrontational with him and saying I'm not gonna in the end Geralt would still have done it, but he could have been like more obstinate about lifting the curse. And in the end it's like not necessarily something that helps us at the moment, right? Because lifting the curse, Henselt specifically said, is what keeps him from finishing his campaign. And this campaign is to like violently take Upper Adarn. Which both Saskia, who wants like the free Upper Adarn, and the Kaedwenian nobles who wanted to keep like belonging to Adarn, both of them don't want that. And I don't know where we stand on that, but like it's military annexation. Do we want that at all? I don't know. But we're doing it for now because we're in his camp and we need some form of support here, and we need to be on his good side for a while, I guess, and we'll see how that goes. Same with Deathmold, of course.
Why is Henselt still breathing? He killed the priest. Why didn't he burst like a ripe tomato under a dwarf's heel?
Perhaps Glavesig wishes Henselt to wait for imminent death.
I don't think so. I know a few sorceresses. They're mean, true, but they also want results. Sabrina cast the curse while roasting at the stake. Not the most comfortable circumstances. I suspect she botched something.
Are you suggesting Henselt may be safe?
I'm suggesting he could be saved, provided we cut him off from the heart of the curse, the Battle of Spectres. It's the weakest link.
How could we do that?
I don't know yet, but I suspect I could summon Sabrina's ghost and force her to free Henselt. First, I need to learn the circumstances of her death. If I'm not mistaken, you need blood to cast a blood curse.
Precisely, unachievable otherwise.
Sabrina was bound to a wagon wheel. Where did she get enough blood?
She put a spell on a soldier who gave her a coup de grace. It was easy. The minds of some soldiers are so uncomplicated. Sabrina needed one of them to strike her, shorten her suffering, but complete the curse. However, this is where she erred. That whore performed miracles, gathered the power, got the prophecy and activator right, but fell flat on her face on the simplest thing at the end.
Don't get so excited.
She chose a fool, a bungler. I heard he thrust 5 times with his spear, yet the witch's soul would not quit her corpse.
There was no one guarding the pyre?
It was one of the guards the sorceress chose for the task. His comrades were irate. He spoiled the show for them. The king was no longer anywhere near.
In any case, blood flowed and the curse took root.
Yes, but the harlot got her due.
Oh man, I love the writing. I also love his voice actor, Deathmold, by the way. The whole Sabrina Glavesig subplot is so full of like perverted biblical references in a way. It's so well written. Like the whole thing about the lance and like the soldier like killing, like thrusting the lance into her before she like expired on the pyre. That's like so much reminiscent of like the crucifixion, right? Then again, obviously Sabrina Glavesic wasn't like anyone's like prophet or savior or whatever. To the contrary, she was probably by all accounts like a war criminal who just killed like 4,000 people. So all of that is like turned on its head quite a bit. But later on, when we like actually end up going to her execution site, a lot of those like references will become a little clearer as well. And I think it's just very cleverly done. I mean, I'm repeating myself, but I love the writing in The Witcher so much.
You're gonna help me, Deathmold.
Of course, as the king ordered.
Listen up. You'll do the paperwork. I get the feeling you like it. I'll need a number of protective runes to summon Sabrina's ghost. They need to detain the sorceress's ghost and anything else that enters this world with it. Find something for me in your library. The runes need to be easy to produce. I haven't seen any artists around here. Apart from that, the Draugrs are likely to begin their forays in search of Henselt. When they leave the battlefield, they'll grow weaker. Your men should be able to handle them. Just equip them with silver-plated weapons. Henselt could also use something silver to defend himself. Over the entrance to his tent, hang a wreath of cinquefoil and fool's parsley. Inside, a fire fueled by juniper branches must burn at all times.
Where will I get so much silver?
Melt down your collection of pots for all I care. Just get it.
Those aren't pots, they're silver vases of Nazaya.
Last of all, give Henselt an instructional talk. Explain that I'll meet him.
And what will you be doing? Drinking ale and fondling the camp women?
Pretty much.
There's that, yes. Though I'll also prepare to summon Sabrina's ghost and figure out what I need to send the fighting specters back to the afterlife. I'll drop by and give you more work as I learn about this curse.
How did you divine that you might recover your memory by lifting the curse?
Oh. Seems like Deathmold's pretty perceptive. Because I don't... Like, did we just say that we also want to lift the curse to get our memory back? If then I didn't pick up on it. But obviously, like, besides wanting to put ourselves on the good side of Henselt for now, that's obviously also the other reason that we think the curse and all the like spectral battlefield is like standing in our way of regaining our memory. And if he just picked up on that, then he's pretty perceptive, which is cool. Also, yeah, I'm happy you guys are all here and watching. If you have any questions like about Witcher lore or about the game or like the way I'm playing this playthrough, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm glad to interact. And yeah, I'm not an like complete expert on Witcher lore, but I have read some of the books and I've played the games quite a bit, so there's a good chance I'll know quite a bit. Yeah, how do you know? I'll ask that.
I don't like people poking around in my life.
Learning about others is my job. I must know the secrets of all who wish to approach the king. I've no problem admitting I like the work.
My past has nothing to do with Henselt.
You don't know that. Do you know why I have no friends, Witcher? Because sooner or later I learn all their secrets, which is followed by interrogations, torture, executions.
Just leave my past alone.
Well, I can imagine how torture and executions would prevent you from having friends.
We need to talk.
What? No, hello, good morning. Pucker up and kiss my ass, nothing.
Hello.
Good morning, White Wolf. Will you take some tea? It's a fortifying beverage.
Some other time, maybe.
Yeah, seems like there's still more dialogue, so I wanted to do all this before I leave. Yeah, we just said we don't want him to be poking around in our private life, and then we're gonna be looking for info on the Wild Hunt. He's certainly gonna make something with that information, but... Okay, we've asked all of this. Most of this. We've asked all of this, actually.
You must know a lot about the Wild Hunt, as one of the reigning majesties among mages.
I simply cannot concern myself with folk tales about corpses flying about on intensely emaciated steeds.
The Wild Hunt's no myth.
Okay. So we gave him a lot more information than we gained there. He knows now that we're looking for info on the Wild Hunt, but you know, those things sometimes they can't be avoided. Oh, also another thing, and don't mind my like complete hype with Witcher 2 still, is that I really like how much the series or the franchise is making use of like real actual folk tales and like fairy tales and myths that exist in the real world. Specifically the Wild Hunt, and also the whole thing about Striggers, which was a big part of Witcher 1, of course, like lifting the Strigger curse and everything, and is a big part of Witcher lore. All those things come from, I think the Strigger thing from like Romanian mythology, and the Wild Hunt is like, it's like a mythology that exists in like most northern European countries, I think. Yeah, and I just like how they like make use of all that kind of stuff, because there's so much there, right? Usually it's like the darker and more bleak tales they're using, of course. But that's what like helps create this like bleak and dark atmosphere so much. Fits very well with the world. Okay. Let's see if we can. Alright, so this is the Pontar. Which, by the way, is something that doesn't make very much sense to me, but maybe you can enlighten me on this, is obviously this is like in Witcher language now, so we can't read the script. But yeah, we have this very big map, right? And just in case you didn't know, this is Temeria. Temeria is the kingdom where the whole whole of Witcher 1 played out. This is Vizima specifically, and this is like the lake to the south of Vizima, like the swamps here. Murky Waters is here. Old Vizima is here. So in this area is basically where all of Witcher 1 played. Then at the beginning of Witcher 2, we were in the lands of the Lavalettes, which are encircled in red here, which are technically part of Temeria, but there was a revolt going on, and crushing that revolt, which involved like some bastard children of Foltest and everything, and the Baroness Lavalette, that was basically the prologue. Interesting also that the whole of Witcher 2 plays like in the Pontar Valley. The Pontar is this river here. It's one of the biggest rivers in the north, like insanely important for like trade. There's a lot of important castles and cities along it. And it also constitutes the border between a lot of kingdoms, so it's very important. So the whole of Witcher 2 plays along the Pontar. They could have just as well like called the game Witcher 2 the Pontar Valley or whatever. But they went with the Assassins of Kings, which also makes a lot of sense, of course. Well, after the prologue, we like sailed on to catch Letho, the assassin of Foltest, and we went up until Flotsam and Lobenden, which is right here. It's still in Temeria, but at the very edge of it, as you can see. It's very close to Aedirn, which is this one. It's also very close to Kaedwen, which is this one, and Redania, which we haven't seen anything of. We've only met King, what was his name? Radovid of Redania in Witcher 1. We've met him, we've never been in Redania, even though it's like one of the most powerful and wealthy northern kingdoms. Novigrad is in there, like a big, like I think it's the biggest city in the north with like 30,000 inhabitants maybe, and it will feature like prominently in Witcher 3. And Oxenfurt is there with the famous university, of course. So that's Redania, but we haven't been there yet. And Flotsam is like at the very edge. It's like very much a backwater, as you can see. There's like dense forests and swamps around it, so it's very hard to access. It's kind of a border town. And as you can maybe remember, like from a couple of reports at the end of chapter 1, we found out that Lurido, the commandant of Flotsam, actually was a traitor to Temeria, because he planned, after he had been bribed a lot by Kaedwenian officials, he actually planned to like open the gates to Kaedweni soldiers. And now it all like kind of together. Kaedwen, again, is where Henselt is from. Henselt is ruler of Kaedwen, and we are currently in his camp, and he also tries to take Upper Aedirn, which is this like northern part of Aedirn here. Also encircled in red, which kind of symbolizes like civil strife or something, I guess. And yeah, so Loredo was a traitor. He wanted to like just give over Flotsam to Kaedwen. And Flotsam is like in an interesting spot because it controls the river. There's like ballistas there pointed at the river. No one can get through it without express permission by whoever controls Flotsam. So it's kind of strategically important. Also, it kind of fits nicely with Kaedwen here, especially if Kaedwen is actually enlarged by Upper Aden here as well. So it's kind of all of this, like the whole Loredo backstory about him being a traitor, and this invasion is all like part of Kaedwen and Henselt using this instability in the north of both Temeria, who's in chaos because Foltest died, of course, and Aden, which is in chaos because Demavent died. Demavent died in the prologue. And yeah, this is Upper Aden, and I actually just went to the map because I'm wondering, because we were in Flotsam earlier, and Flotsam is downriver from where we are now. We're at Vergen, which is like a dwarven city in Upper Aden, around here, close to the Pontar as well. In Flotsam, the river was actually quite narrow, and now we're further upriver, which would usually mean the river is like less wide even and more narrow, right? But here it was like very narrow and winding, and now we're at the Pontar River and it's this wide. Is that just a screw up on part of the developers, or is that like maybe intentional? I mean, maybe it gets like a little smaller. Like because it's like it has to wind like through the forests or whatever. I don't know. Also, we are just barely after. I don't know what this river is called, but it like flows into the Pontar. I don't know. Anyways, I'm glad I'm not boring you. I hope I'm not boring you. So this is the Pontar River, and on the other side of the river is like the bulk of Henselt's force. This is more like a bridge at this camp. It's like maybe like 200, 300 of his soldiers, which are actually on Aedirnian soil right now. Over there, this is Kaedwen still. And as we can see, it's like pretty mountainous and cold and northish. But the bulk of his force is still over there. We're over in Aden. And also the king himself and his royal advisor, Deathmold, in this tent. They have pitched their tents in this like upper area of the camp. Let's talk to Sheila again, ask her about the Wild Hunt.
A sorceress like you must know bundles about paranormal phenomena.
Any mage's knowledge has little to do with superstitions.
The Wild Hunt's no superstition.
Indeed, the phenomenon exists.
I want to know everything about it, including what you know.
You're out of luck. I've never concerned myself with it. I'm also not interested in whirlwinds or hailstorms.
Well, they like both Sheila and Deathmold, they don't like each other, but independently from each other, they don't seem to either know or want to tell us anything about the Wild Hunt. Which is, the law of the Wild Hunt is like kind of interesting in The Witcher as well, because, you know, it's like a pretty widespread phenomenon, and it's pretty terrifying to like anyone who comes across it, because like the specters of the Wild Hunt, they're like practically invincible. They turn up everywhere where there's like war and death. If there's a war, they come and like claim a lot of lives. They're like a band of specters riding through the sky, basically. But what's so weird about it is that and we're in law mode at the moment, apparently. But what's so weird about it is kind of the conflict between the Wild Hunt being like so widespread and terrifying to so many people, and on the other hand, the unwillingness of a lot of people to even like mention it or talk about it at all. Because it says in the law, if we go back here, the Wild Hunt, stories of the Wild Hunt do not appear in the Dwarven and Elven cultures. So, like, it's only humans that even talk about it. And there might be a slight chance it's just like a human phenomenon, the Wild Hunt, that humans are like particularly brutal or zealous or whatever. So the Wild Hunt like takes a quote-unquote liking to humans, and humans like kill more or whatever, so that's why they're around humans more. But I don't think that's the case. I think for some reason like both elves and dwarves just don't talk about it. And that's very weird. It is quite interesting. For the elder races must have faced the hunt long before humans did, because as we all know, humans are pretty young to this world. They only joined this world of The Witcher with the... was it something of spheres? Conflagration? No. Something of spheres like 1,500 years ago. So actually, which is interesting, in this world, humans are kind of the intruders to this world. Just by some kind of freak magic accident, they got like carried over from another dimension. And they're the weird ones. They're basically the fantasy creatures in this world. And elves and dwarves and halflings are called the elder races precisely for that fact. They are like the original inhabitants of this world. And interestingly, like most racism, especially like in the northern kingdoms now, is not towards humans who were like the original newcomers and invaders, but it's towards the elder races who have kind of been relegated to the fringes of society most of the time. Okay. Yeah, I want to
looking for the coins.
So now we have quite a lot of things to do. Let's see who else is here. This guy doesn't seem to be important. This guy doesn't seem to be important. Someone in this tent? I mean, this is also all like tents for the important people in Kaedwen's camp. Henselt's camp. Right. Yeah, I've been here already. I don't know what I'm doing half of the time. Talking too much. Where does this lead? Oh, it's just closed off, alright. This is Adam Pangret, isn't it?
Yeah. Need some help, Monster Slayer?
I want to talk, dog of war.
I've heard much about you, Witcher. Greetings.
Greetings, Captain.
Interesting hearing you have there. Let's talk about arm wrestling. Oh, that's right. So, in universe, we know about Adam Pangret because the old arm wrestling champion that we bested, of course, of the Flotsam Lobenden area. What was his name? Bargy or something? He said, like, if you ever meet Adam Pangret, he just destroyed me at arm wrestling. So he's like part of that quest, so that's why we've heard his name before. You're famous.
I heard you gained fame during the wars with Nilfgaard.
And
our fees have doubled since the Battle of Brenna. As it turns out, it was worth risking our necks.
How did the Battle of Brenna play out?
I wouldn't mind learning some details about Brenna from someone who played first fiddle there.
Constable Natalis commanded the Nordlings. The Nilfgaardians mounted a vicious attack. And if not for us and the Dun Banner, the collected armies of the north probably would have shattered into bits. Luckily, we showed up at the right time, withstood the assault and came out victorious. We earned every last copper we were paid. 50,000 Nilfgaardians shattered their teeth trying to bite at us. Menno Colhorn, their commander-in-chief, chose death over humiliation. Like in every battle, it was a question of timing, taking advantage of the foe's missteps, and a bit of luck.
So Adam Pangret here, in addition to being an arm wrestling champion, is also the leader of a group of mercenaries who are pretty, like, not influential, who are like pretty strong and have a good reputation, and they're aiding Henselt at the moment, it seems. Just in case you're wondering, and I'm not going to go into this in detail, but just very shortly. The Battle of Brenna they were referring here is a battle that hasn't happened in any of the Witcher games. It's back from the books. And it's basically the last time that Nilfgaard tried to invade the northern kingdoms. It's basically the last-ditch attempt by all the northern kingdoms who were like all allied to just fight the Nilfgaardian Empire from like taking their lands, basically. And they won, and they drove the Nilfgaardians out. And that's like 10 years ago now, I think, or maybe like 5 or 8, like somewhere in that ballpark. And now there's obviously rumors that Nilfgaard's going to try soon again, but last time they were beat like pretty badly at the Battle of Brenna, even though they had like twice the amount of troops. And Adam Pangret here says that's in no small part to him, but I don't know if that's true. I mean, yeah. Also came down to the fact that like literally all northern kingdoms who usually like don't like each other very much cooperated to fight against Nilfgaard. which again is like a historical reference, right? I think mostly to like probably like the Napoleonic Wars, and then the like battles of the, was it 6th, 7th coalition or something, where like finally like basically all European powers allied to defeat Napoleon, and then they eventually did.
Must be fatiguing fighting all the time.
I took a little time off recently. Something along the lines of a honeymoon.
Alright.
But I like my craft. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I knew one of your kind once. Woman by the name of Rayla.
Oh, that's
Killed
right.
by an elf's treacherous arrow. She made a mistake. Let her emotions take control. This profession requires cold calculation.
That's so. Yeah, White Ryla. She actually was one of our like romance cards in Witcher 1, since we went with the order path as well. So yeah, we saw her die and then fought her later as an abomination, as a mutation basically, that the salamander made out of her body. It was all pretty tragic. And I don't know if she was like a part of the same mercenary group that he is, or just generally also a mercenary.
Is Henselt paying you to wait?
Curiosity itching you, Witcher. Not the best trait to have in wartime.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Deathmold's given us silver-plated weapons and protective amulets. On your advice, as I heard it, we're to observe the mist and, if need be, drive off the raids.
So Deathmold eventually smelted all his silver plates. Then Assyrian vases.
How many mercenaries you got watching the fog?
I've got them spread out in small groups around campfires. And how many we number? Well, that's my concern alone.
I see. That's classified, I guess.
Since you're already watching it, pay attention to the size of the cloud. I need to know if it's expanding.
Well...
How fast?
It's almost imperceptible, but it's constant. A foot, perhaps 2 a day. What does that mean?
Means I have to hurry.
That's right.
Does Henselt pay his mercenaries well? Call it professional curiosity on my part.
It's no secret a lump sum of 20,000 Novigrad crowns awaits.
Nice.
To be divvied up between those who survive.
So the more of you die, the greater the take per head.
Yes.
Interesting. Is that usual for mercenary contracts?
Were you here 3 years ago during the last battle for Vergen?
Bradley's Blue Banner was. They were decimated by mages. The survivors enlisted with us. They weren't eager to talk about it, and we didn't press them.
No lack of work for your kind.
Mercenary might just be the surest profession these days. Sign of the times.
Yeah, there's a little war going on. So the Blue Banner, or whatever he's saying, that's not the name of his mercenary company. That's the mercenary company that helped Henselt the last time, 3 years ago. And he took on their survivors, apparently. And I guess the Blue Banner disbanded.
Let's talk arm wrestling.
Go on.
Bartholomew Bargy sends his regards.
Bart Bargy. I remember him. Strong.
For a peasant. They say you're the strongest arm around here.
You wouldn't be talking to me otherwise.
How's that?
During the Battle of Brenna, I got into a knife fight with an Nilfgaardian commander. That's to say, he had the knife and I had my bare hands. I grabbed him by the wrist, but the blade kept coming towards my throat. He was strong, but lacked stamina. When I felt him weaken, I twisted his arm around and slit his throat. I've worked on my hands, wrists, and arms since then. They all come in handy in my profession.
Sure.
Wanna wrestle me?
To challenge Adam Pangret for the championship, you've got to beat the best contenders.
Who should I challenge?
Martin and Randall are the strongest in my company. Then there's Magnus, the camp blacksmith.
I'll try them.
Watch out for Magnus. As I see it, he could easily do his work with no tools. Steady on, White Wolf. You've yet to beat all the strong men.
Where are these kinds from if there wasn't a single one when they were pitching camp?
Anything in his tent worth stealing? Yeah, a couple of orens. Some boots and other clothing. So that's Adam Pangrid off. I actually forgot what his mercenary company was called.
We'll have to sit it out like hens on their eggs until this mist lifts.
It won't just disappear. They say only a spell will lift it.
I also have quite a couple of talent points to spend, 3 to be exact. I'll do this once I find the quiet to meditate somewhere.